UFC 294 takes place this Saturday. I'm going to give you my prediction for some of the fights. Let's start with Azaitar versus Sedriques Dumas. I'm going to go with Sedriques Dumas. He's a lot younger than Abu. He's much taller, much rangier, a lot of power, much higher finishing potential, I would say. And although he is a horrible fighter because he is a middleweight, he does have a win over Cody Brunage, which isn't saying much because Cody Brunage absolutely sucks. But he's young, he's hungry. I think he has a little potential, and Abu Azaitar is just old. He's just straight up old, coming off of a knockout loss. So, I think Dumas is going to probably get an early TKO finish. Next, we have Javid Basharat versus Victor Henry. Obviously, going with Basharat, much younger, a prospect in the bantamweight division, a lot of potential, just an all-around great fighter. Victor Henry, although he is good, he's actually really underrated, I would say. He's just old. He's getting old. He's 36 for the bantamweight division. What has happened here? He's 36 years old. Javid's 28. He's just entering his prime. He's not even in his prime. And he's already at the level he's at. So, probably going to go with the Basharat winning a fairly dominant decision. Now, up next, we have Mohammad Yahya versus Trevor Peek. Now, Trevor Peek's a good old country boy, all right? He's got power in his hands. He throws standing hammer fists. An amazing technique. No one's ever done that before. He's revolutionary, okay? He's got a lot of power, a lot of heart. We saw how tough he was against Chepe Mariscal. And Mohammad Yahya, honestly, don't know much about him. Never heard of him. He's 12-3, so can't be that good. Now up next, Tim Elliott versus Mohammad Mokaev. Now this is interesting. I'm not sure who to pick here. I think I'm going to go with Makhachev because I think he's much more disciplined. I think he has a lot more hunger, a lot more potential left in him than Tim Elliott, because Tim Elliott's career is on a decline. Obviously, being 36 years old, Mokaev only being 23. He's got a lot of time left to develop. He did almost get submitted by Rafael Filo in a nasty knee bar. And that injury might be a factor in this fight, but I think he's taken quite a bit of time off. That almost losing that fight probably lit a fire under him, and he's probably gotten a lot better since then. Plus, he has a 4-inch reach advantage on Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott's, I mean, he's a cuck, first of all. That's not a good sign. 12 losses, getting old. Hasn't looked that great in his last couple fights. So, I think Mokaev's going to get it done. Probably by a dominant decision. Fairly close decision, actually. Now, on to the main card. We have Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Muin Gafurov. Now, Saeed's good. He's probably just outside the bantamweight rankings. He actually should be ranked because he kind of got robbed against Jonathan Martinez, and we just saw how good Jonathan Martinez is as he's coming off a nasty leg kick finish over Adrian Yanez. So, if he can beat Jonathan Martinez, surely he can beat Muin Gafurov, who is a little bit shorter of opponent, a little bit of reach disadvantage, has a couple more losses. less experience. So, going with the Saeed victory. Now, next we have Ikram Aliskerov versus Warlley Alves. People are overhyping Ikram Aliskerov by a long shot. He KO'd Phil Hawes, but I mean, that a child could KO Phil Hawes if they got the right connection onto his chin, so that's nothing special. He actually was kind of getting pieced up by Phil Hawes until he just winged a shot at him and just knocked him out instantly. But he held his ground against Khamzat, and Warlley Alves, very small for the middleweight division. There's, what is that, 3-inch height advantage for Ikram Aliskerov, 4-inch reach advantage. He's much fresher, a little younger. I think he's got a lot more potential left in him. Warlley Alves already has 6 losses. Ikram only has 1, and it's the Khamzat, so I think he should be able to get it done. Now, on to Magomed Ankalaev versus Johnny Walker. This is very, very interesting. Ankalaev arguably should be the champion, the interim champion when he fought Jan Blachowicz. Although you can't score that fight a draw, if anyone did win it, it was Ankalaev. But here's the thing, Walker has the most power than anyone Ankalaev's ever faced before. And he's also the rangiest guy Ankalaev has ever faced before. He's going to have a 3-inch height advantage and a 7-inch reach advantage. That is massive. That is absolutely massive. With Walker's power, he might be able to beat Ankalaev. But if Ankalaev stays composed and can keep out of the wildness and craziness of Walker and use his grappling, which he kind of doesn't do grappling until he's in trouble with striking, like we saw against Jan Blachowicz. He didn't use his grappling at all until he could barely stand. And he was able to out-grapple Jan Blachowicz pretty easily and dominate him, and he barely could stand. So I think Ankalaev's going to get it done, but I wouldn't be surprised if Walker catches him. I think it's going to be a very close fight. It just depends on if Ankalaev's smart enough to use his grappling before Walker can just do something crazy and catch him. So I think Ankalaev's going to get it done, but it could go either way, absolutely. Now we have we have the co-main event. Kamaru Usman versus Khamzat Chimaev. Of course, Usman taking this on, 12 days notice, something like that? I think that was a huge mistake. I mean, he's going to get a lot of respect for doing this. He already has gotten a lot of respect, but he's coming off a dominating victory, or a dominating loss from Leon Edwards. And the fight before that, he obviously got head kick KO'd. His knees are just disintegrating as we speak. He can barely... I remember on Joe Rogan, I think, they talked about how he can't even walk on pavement without his knees hurting. And he's taking on Khamzat Chimaev. He's 7 years younger, 2 inches taller. He's been building himself up to the middleweight division for over a year now. And Usman's just getting off the couch and going up to middleweight. So Khamzat's going to have a major strength advantage, which Usman's not going to be used to that. Usman's always stronger than his opponent. But now he's the smaller guy. He's the weaker guy. I just don't see how he can get it done. He's got a good jab. He's got a slight reach advantage, but Khamzat ate bombs from Gilbert Burns. And meanwhile, Usman got rocked by Gilbert Burns. And got rocked by Colby Covington a couple times. He was in trouble. Who knows what would have happened if he didn't fake a groin shot in the first fight. So, you have to pick Khamzat. He's hungrier. He knows Dana already promised the winner of this a title shot for the middleweight division, even though neither of them have ranked middleweight wins, which is insane. It really sucks for DDP, but I think Khamzat's gonna. I think he's gonna smoke him in the first round. I really do. And now on to the main event. Islam Makachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. Volk's already won. No matter what happens, Volk's already won for taking this fight on such short notice. Now, there are so many reasons to pick Islam, and I think if you have a brain, you probably would pick Islam. But I think there are a couple reasons to pick Volkanovski. And that is mainly because of his mindset. Volk already knows that it's a win-win for him. No matter what happens, he's gained everyone's respect. He's getting paid a lot of money. He's going to go out there and, I think, look for the finish early. He's not going to have a mindset of, I'm going to try to win a decision. He's going to look for the finish. I think he's going to be more aggressive. But that could get him into trouble because Islam has been preparing a long time. He's been out much longer than Volk has. Volk fought in July, and he got a surgery right after that. And obviously, he hasn't built himself up to the light heavyweight division or the lightweight division like he did last time when he fought Islam. So I think the odds are obviously immensely stacked against Volk, but I got a feeling he's going to get it done somehow. But we're going to see. We're going to see Saturday if Volk can get it done. Imagine if Volk and Usman get it done. It's been the year of the underdog already, so I would not be surprised at all if somehow Usman and Volk both get the victory with the way things have been turning out lately. So ultimately, I think I'm going to pick Volkanovski to win. Somehow, some way, I think he's going to get a finish, but that's just going off feeling. If you're going off by logic, Islam's going to win this all day. But I just got a feeling in my body. I got a feeling that Volkanovski's going to get it done. So that's it for my UFC 294 predictions. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Goodbye.